Hey guys, I hope you guys have been doing great. So, yesterday I was going through your comments, and one comment that I got a lot is I want to be like you. I love your job. Your job is so fun. Your job is so easy. And yes, I agree that this is my dream job. Art has always been my passion, and to think about that I'm making a living out of it is just so amazing, right? We often talk about the fun and creative side of being an artist, but let's be real, there is always another side. And if I'm showing you the good side of being an artist, I think it only makes sense if I show you some of the things that I don't really like. Honestly, some of these problems might not be that big as well, but from your DMs, from your comments, from your mails, I know that I am not the only artist who goes through all these doubts in my mind. I don't know about you all, but knowing that I am not the only one in this problem, I am not the only one in this situation, and there are way many people who are going through the same issue, it just comforts me. So today I want to discuss them, the things that have bothered me in the past or are bothering me right now, and how I am trying to change my perspective about those, the burnout, the doubts, and everything in between that every artist has gone through, even if they don't share it. We are also making some trinket dishes today as I trauma dump on you guys, so let's get started. First, let's talk about the burnout that we feel as an artist. And it's so funny to me. I am finally doing everything that I loved, that I wanted to from my very childhood, and boom, suddenly I am just exhausted. Exhausted of the same thing that I always wanted to do. Sometimes, not just physically, but mentally as well. And I say that this was funny to me was because a lot of artists, including me, feel a sense of guilt, and that is the worst part. Art is our passion and it's supposed to be the thing that gives us life, not drain it. So when we feel exhausted, we think, wait, how can I be tired? This is what I wanted my whole life. We start beating ourselves up for it like we are not allowed to be tired because this is supposed to be our dream job. We often start to wonder whether this line of work is genuinely meant for us. But here is a much needed reality check. Even the things we love can wear us out sometimes. It doesn't mean you are any less passionate, it just means you are a human. And guess what? It's completely okay. It's okay to rest, it's okay to take a breather, even from your dream. So, if you're feeling that burnout, give yourself that permission to pause. It's okay to be exhausted, and yes, even when you're doing something that you really love to do. For the next step, I would need some bowls to shape my trinket dishes, and I'm using these bowls very carefully because if I break them, my mom will break me. My mom, basically my parents, they grew up in a totally different time and generation. I mean, my mom and dad still don't understand how I make money from YouTube, and honestly, I don't blame them for it. In today's age, we have a lot of ways that we can earn money being an artist that did not exist back in the day. We can be artists and at the same time we can monetize it and make a living out of it. And as much as we love the creative freedom of all this, there is no denying that being an artist is an unstable career. And yes, it's hard to admit, but your parents are right. As artists today, so much of our success feels tied to numbers. The likes, shares, and comments. They shouldn't matter, but they do. I mean, even with this video, I almost didn't post it because I was worried it wouldn't be interesting enough. It's funny because we are supposed to create art for the sake of creating, but we can't help but stress over how it will perform. The pressure of numbers and engagement starts to creep in, and this stress will continue until you find a stable enough audience, which might take more time than you would like. And even if everything is going great right now, I am doing great right now, there is no surety that 5 years from now people will like this or not. And most of the time, I don't feel like sharing these thoughts with anyone except keep it to myself because I feel like I'm just getting too stressed and I'm just overthinking. But at the same time, it feels nice to be able to share my thoughts and worries. And that's why I'm excited to introduce today's paid partner, BetterHelp. I used to think that therapy is only for people who have a diagnosed mental health condition. Honestly, I realized that that is not true at all. If you're someone like me who gets stressed about everyday life, about future, then having therapy can be really helpful for you. And with BetterHelp, you can find your online therapist from the comfort of your own home. Firstly, you will need to answer some questions and choose your preference, and then BetterHelp will match you with the therapist based on your preferences. And the best part is, you can even change your therapist anytime, absolutely free of cost. I never understood how talking to someone about your struggles can be so comforting until I started therapy myself. So, if you are struggling and think that you can benefit from a therapy session, then click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/sugarcafecharms to get 10% off on your first month of therapy from BetterHelp. With over 7,000 reviews and 4.5 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform that you can trust. Thank you so much, BetterHelp, for partnering with us and changing my view about therapy. In this journey of self improvement, one thing that you definitely need to avoid is comparing yourself to others. Instead of thinking it this way, that if they could do it, I can do it too, we often start thinking that why can't I do it? What is wrong with me? And that's the worst feeling when you start comparing yourself with others. What we forget is everyone have their own path and we are all dealing with something behind the scene. Social media is not really the place to share our struggles. So it's easy to feel like you are the only one facing hurdles, but in fact, you are not. So don't compare your journey with someone else's highlight reel, because everyone's path is different, and as long as you are doing great and as long as you enjoy what you're doing, that's all that matters. You know, one of the most challenging parts of being an artist, especially in a family gathering or in a friends gathering, sometimes you feel like maybe my achievements are so less than the achievements of the people that I am surrounded with. And maybe the people around me don't even care or they are even proud of me, but my mind will tell me that I will not be taken seriously. You will be sitting there with a bunch of people who will have more traditional jobs like doctors, engineers, lawyers, and then there is you, the creative soul whose work sometimes feel a little less valid than others. Even though I am proud to be an artist and I have built a career as a YouTuber and an artist, and I make my living doing what I love, I still hesitate to talk about it. Sometimes it's just easier to say that, oh, I am a zoology student, rather than saying that, hey, I am a zoology student and I am also an artist. I feel like that sometimes I almost try to fit into a mold that's easier for others to understand. And honestly, there is nothing wrong with feeling that way, but it's hard not to wonder, why do I feel like I have to hide the part of me that I am the most proud of? And that, I guess, is the bittersweet part of being an artist. No matter how much you believe in your art, there will always be moments where you feel small. What you're doing is not enough, or maybe what you're doing doesn't measure up to societal expectation. And these are all the things that goes on in our head, but trust me, most people don't even care what you're doing. They have their own struggles to deal with. And even though most of the people, like 99% of the people that you will be meeting will be nice, even one or two negative comments can really stick with you, making you question what I am actually doing. One thing that we often forget is art has its own kind of impact, its own way of shaping lives and bringing beauty into this world and storytelling. It's just a more quieter, more subtle kind of magic. So, to anyone out there feeling this way, remember this, that You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to be proud of what you did, even if others don't always see it. Try to take a break and step behind a little bit to see how far you have come, how much you have improved, how much you have grown, not just as an artist but also as a person. When you take this step back and see yourself, and if you feel that you are proud of yourself, of how far you have come, that's the kind of success that numbers and titles will never capture. The main reason why I felt like sharing this today was because of all this that has been going around in my head from the starting of my artistic journey. I sometimes tend to lose sight of what I have achieved over the years. Sometimes I wonder if I am allowed to call myself an artist, especially because I don't have any formal degree in art. But honestly, does it really matter? Because at the end of the day, I am creating what I love to create. If you have ever felt that way, or recently you have been feeling a little demotivated, so here is a little reminder that we should be happy about our victories and we should be proud of our achievements. Even if it doesn't seem big, take a moment to be proud that you are creating and you are growing, because at the end of the day, this might sound a little cheesy, but it's true that it's not about the destination, but it's all about the beauty of the journey. And I feel lucky and happy that I got to be a part of this amazing journey. I hope that this video was a little bit comforting for you guys to know that you are not the only one that is going through all these thoughts and having an existential crisis. I'm the type of person who always think that everyone just have their life all figured out except me. But when I actually talk to them, I realize that almost everybody is going through some of the other issue. And I made this video mainly because in future, if I ever feel anxious, I can come back to this video. And this video was honestly a little difficult for me to make, but hope you guys enjoyed. And I am proud of you. I am proud of your progress. If you're an artist, you're struggling, hold on tight, and I'm manifesting success for all of you. And be healthy, stay safe, don't get too worried, don't get too anxious. Check out BetterHelp, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye bye.
कितने क्यूट लग रहे हैं सब
Doctors, engineers, lawyers,